on in 3, 2, 1.
This is Packard Pokes At, and I'm poking at your news. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another fine edition of Packard Pokes At. I am your immutable and unmutable host, Packard Sonic. And joining us back again from places unknown is Dan, real unrelated Johnson.
Hello. Good to be back from places unknown.
Yes. You travel around so much, you make me look like I'm just beginning at this stuff. No, I do travel around quite a bit for my job, but you are doing it just for your own personal health, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See, that's different. I actually get paid to do it, so that makes it. You actually have to pay to do it. And join. Yeah. That's I don't know if that's good or bad. So, but join us now for the first time, and welcome to the family here at Packard Pokes At is Joe Unseen. Welcome to the show, Joe.
Hello. I'm here, but you cannot see me.
Yes, not yet. He is over on the far east coast. Ah, you thought I was going to say the far right. No, we leave the far right over for Eric when he's here. But unfortunately, he will not be joining us tonight, and neither will be Medusa. So it'll just be us three boys for tonight. So maybe next week we'll get either Medusa or Eric on the show. We don't know. You know, schedules kind of clash around this time of the year. So, but we are just glad that Joe was able to join us tonight, and he will be joining you guys in the chat room afterwards during the times when the others are on the show, just like we always do. But let's get to our first stories for this evening. A man used Google Earth to find his long-lost mother. Now, he was separated from his family when he was 5 years old. Now, he's an Indian man, and he used the web tool to track down the name of his village, and he was ultimately got together back with his mom. He found the waterfall, of all things, that he used to play in when he was a kid. He could actually remember this particular physical landmark where he was at. So at least he was able to pinpoint to some degree. His mother was so surprised he didn't even recognize her because apparently he was when he was I'm not sure if it was taken away or just got separated from his family, that he didn't recognize her after so much time. But it turns out that his brother, the sad part of the story is that his brother, several months after he disappeared, he was found dead, unfortunately. But these things unfortunately happen. It's just a wonder that using a tool like this has actually brought a family back together in some respect. Dan, your thoughts?
Yeah, this is very cool. I'm a big fan of Google Earth, and I myself and hundreds and hundreds of other
Court has ruled that that code is not physical and it cannot be stolen, but it can be copied. Now, what was really interesting, I thought about this. Now, they've been the RIAA has been pushing this about for music pirates, saying that they're stealing music, they're stealing these songs. This is about code. Unfortunately, this is about code. This is not about that, but it's along the same lines, because when you make a physical copy, or not quite a physical copy, if you make a copy of a song, it's a digital copy. It's a perfect reproduction. Now, in that song is actually coded as a matter of fashion, so it kind of along the same lines. So I'm wondering if they're going to use this as a baseline for saying that, since code can't be stolen but it can be copied. I wonder if this is going to move into the area of music, and the RIAA is going to sit there biting their teeth, because they're like, you can't be copying this stuff. So, I just kind of makes me wonder. Dan, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
our next topic. Oh, but actually, before we get into our next topic, if you would like to advertise here on the show on Packard Pokes At, there is right here below. If my producer gets to that button there, she has no idea where it is at the moment. It's down, up. Your ad right there. There we go. Your head. No, right there. There you go. There we go. See, there's another logo here for if you would like to put an ad here with the show. Just contact me at packardpokesat@gmail.com for details, and you can have your ad right here, right now, and be seen by potentially millions of people. Well, or whoever decides to come to the show. And I have a little correction of myself. I kept saying last week. I kept saying the show's going to be at iTunes /PackardPokesat. It's actually at YouTube.com/PackardPokesat. So if you want to find the show later on, go to YouTube.com/PackardPokesat. That's where you can find the show, the video show, later afterwards. So, all right, now we can get into our politics. Politics. Now, Arizona has been very crazy with their weird laws. And if you've ever seen a picture of the governor down there, you could probably take you could see that the craziness comes right out of her face. No, I'm sorry, that's really mean. No, but she is really crazy. The governor, Jan Brewer, has vetoed a bill that would to allow guns on public property. Said it would need a wider support from police, cities, and public before she could sign it. Which means you could walk into a public pool carrying a gun, public library, courthouse, a park, anywhere that's considered to be public, as it were. That would be you could walking out there carrying a gun. This is crazy. I mean, these people think it's the Wild West down there. It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand what these people, what goes through this person's mind that they think that that the guns have to be everywhere. I mean, didn't the Democrat that got shot down there, doesn't this wake them up saying, hey, maybe it's not a good idea to have access to so many guns? I mean, really? Come on now. Dan, your thoughts?
Yeah,
Unfortunately, Eric is not here. He's next door neighbor. I know. Does Eric lived in Mississippi? I forget.
He's in Louisiana, I think.
Louisiana. Well, that's next door neighbor. They're kissing cousins down there, as it were. As it were. No, you're right. He's in Louisiana. I keep forgetting. But the governor down there tightened up the bills that were strict on all abortion providers in the state. So basically, what they've done, they've shut down all rights to abortions in the state. They told the doctors that they have to be able to work at the hospitals that are in the state. From what I understand, what I remember hearing, that several of the doctors live out of state, and they can't work at the hospitals there. And why would they? Really? I mean, there's no reason for them. I mean, if something happens, an ambulance is going to come and get them and take them to another hospital. There's no reason for the doctor to go with the patient. I mean, this is common knowledge. I mean, it's not like, let's say I get hurt. I don't have to have my doctor waiting for me at the emergency room to check me in. It doesn't make any sense. But they're making the bills so freaking weird, so they can't have any abortions in the state whatsoever. Even here in Wisconsin, I mean, it's not part of the story, but even here in Wisconsin, this nuttery that the Republicans are pushing out affected us here in Wisconsin starting today, on Friday. And it just blows my mind that these Republicans, these right-wing GOP religious Republicans, are pushing their religion down people's throats because they don't like abortion, so they don't want anybody else to have access to it either. You need to leave these women alone. If someone has to have one, they're going to cause more problems than in the long run than they are with trying to prevent this. Dan, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's bad enough
here. Actually, no. You know what? Are we done with the? Yeah, we're done with the politics already. Well, let's get into our news topics.
Give me the news.
Now, bullying, as they say, is not just for kids anymore. Now, apparently, some of these schools, what they're doing is they have legal means to punish children. And I don't mean they make them stand in the corner, send them home with a note, suspend them. They physically beat their children. In many states, this is still illegal, or still legal. And a lot of this, in 28 states, have banned it, but not in the South and in some parts of the upper Midwest. It's mostly Christian schools that have this kind of doctrine where that they have a discipline problem where the kid doesn't want to behave, doesn't want to listen, that they take a paddle and then they will literally beat the child. Whether you say, hey, I don't want my child beaten, it's like, hey, they're in our school, they're in our custody, we're going to beat them if they step out of line. Where does they draw the line? What happens when you get somebody that's going to lose control, potentially lose control, because they get a little pissed off at the child because the child doesn't want to listen, and could literally beat the child to death. I mean, it's possible, and they use biblical scripture to back up what they say. To say that because it's in the Bible, a piece of fiction written over 2,000 years ago, that hey, it must be okay. I mean, really? Come on now, Dan, your thoughts?
Yeah, this is pretty nasty. Like you'd mentioned.
cable television, it's really gone downhill over the years because a lot of TV shows are there's not like the shows that I grew up with. They were actually, fairly humorous or whatever. There's an old saying that shows are really going to the dogs. Well, now they really are. Filmmakers are calling it dog TV. It's a new breed of television. It's an 8-hour block of on-demand cable television programs. It costs $6 a month. It's supposed to keep your dogs relaxed and entertained and stimulated while you're at work. So I'm wondering how you're getting to get the dogs to watch this for 8 hours. I mean, dogs also rely on smells. Unless they added smell to this, I don't think the dogs would be all that interested, especially, But I can understand the way they're doing it because people are going, well, I go home, I leave, I go to work, and my dog's here by itself, and I feel bad and everything. And I completely understand that. When I had a little dog, I would leave the radio on. I didn't know if it helped the dog any because I was gone, but, I guess I don't know if it made him feel any better, the fact that, he's hearing noises or not, but at least it would have, kept him quiet, I suppose. Dan, your thoughts?
Yeah, we have a DVD
States, and when that the Republicans are pushing all this religion down our throats, makes me wonder if it's ever going to go away. Well, in Australia, the future of religion is being questioned even more and more. They're saying now that possibly that within 2 generations that Australia will be completely free of religion. If this is not a code, a sign from the non-gods to move to Australia, I don't know what is. I mean, there's a lot of wilderness out there. Let's get out there. Let's start putting up some buildings. But the best part about this, I mean, there's no doctrine to follow out there. I mean, this is we could rename Australia Atheist Land. I don't think they'd go for that anyway. But I think this is really interesting, the fact that in this country, or not in America here, but in Australia, that religion is going to just go away. I mean, I think in a lot of atheist minds, this is a dream come true. Dan, your thoughts?
I
Next story here. A nun over in Spain had stolen babies over the head guy was, I think his name was Franco. Uh, yeah, during the Franco era. Now she's 80 years old. Now she's accused of stealing a mother's newborn daughter at the Madrid hospital back in 1982. This has been going on since. Now this apparently a lot of these thefts started back in the 1930s to 1936 to 1939, over the Civil War that was going on out there. Apparently, it was believed it's been happened as late as the 1990s. Now, the reason why they were taking these children because they were saying that these children were undesirable left-wing parents and need to give these children to approved right-wing families. Sometimes what they would do is they would tell these children or these parents, "Oh, your baby died, so you don't have a baby to go home to now, to take home." And the baby was not. They would either show a baby that had died, or I don't know if they kept one in the freezer or whatever. Say, "Yeah, here's your baby. The baby died," and then they would give the live baby to one of these other families because they wanted them in a religious home or one that was in one where they would be right wing or whatever in the long run. I mean, that's just terrible. And these are Catholic nuns. Religion has just. I've said this once. I'll say it again. Religion poisons everything. Everything it touches. And they've broken apart so many families over the years that it's not even funny. Dan, your thoughts?
My first thought is Generalissimo Francisco Franco is still dead. But old SNL fans will get that one. It is despicable that it's
had some really good stories. Let's get into our funny tweet. Our funny tweet comes tonight from SAG December DEC 15, and he retweets Rhonda Vincent 13. That's RHONDAVINCENT 13. It says Dick Clark has died. We can no longer ring in the new year. Well played, Mayans. Well played. I thought that was quite topical for the, we did just lose Dick Clark. I mean, I remember when I was younger, the comedians would talk about Dick Clark. There was this one he would say, Dick Clark went to a medium and found out if he was with his past life, and he said in Dick Clark's past life he was Dick Clark, So he'd been around quite a while, but yeah. Now I guess with the whole 2012 thing that's going on, these people believe that December 25th, or not December, what is it, 21st? December 21st, that the Earth is going to blow up or whatever. No, the calendar's just going to reset, people. There's nothing to it. Just don't plan on jumping into a bomb shelter or anything. Just live your life. But I guess since the Mayans predicted that, and Dick Clark just died this year, well, I guess no new year for us. No. Dan, your thoughts?
Yeah.
On his profile there, he says, I don't do borders, countries, nationalities, groups, cliques, gangs, differences, castes, class, gender, tribes. I don't listen to crazy bald heads. And the thing was, I kind of met him over Twitter. He was actually critiquing me and criticizing me a bit, but he was more Eric's fan than he was mine. But over the course of several months or several weeks, I've actually made him my fan. I guess I have that kind of way with people. So if you were out on Twitter, give him a follow. His handle again is KAYODEI. Tell him you heard him on the show, and give him a follow. All right, let's get into our question of the week.
Excuse me.
I have a question.
I have a question.
I have a question, sir.
What are you doing? I'm asking you a question.
Our question from last week was Friday the 13th. Is it real or is it all in your head? I believe that was the question from last week. Let's see here. Yeah, Friday the 13th. Bad luck or all in your head? We had one reply, and that was from Crystal Says So. And she says, I do not believe in Friday the 13th holds any more evil than any other day. I believe we make our own luck. And, that's a very positive attitude to have towards the day. Just got to treat it just like any other day. Unfortunately, last week we had a little Friday the 13th moment, as it were, because air couldn't get on. He was on for a little while, then he just dropped off, couldn't get back on. And we had just a myriad of problems. but we were able to pull it through and get the show out anyway. But it happened to happen on Friday the 13th. Of course, on this show, we have a Friday the 13th almost every Friday, so it's so I don't know if I can really count that or not. But our question for this week is, if I can, I'm waiting to pull up here. It is actually was contributed to us by N2 Horson. That's by N, the number 2, HORSN. And she posed this question: if you could leave advice for the next generation using only one word, what word of wisdom would you pass on? Dan, if you could only leave one word, leave advice for the next generation using only one word, what word of wisdom would you pass on to the next generation? Floss. Everybody forgets that. It's like, you got to brush. Don't forget
Don't
the
forget
floss.
to floss.
Don't forget the floss.
And Packard steals it.
Just remember, you got to floss. Those things in your mouth are not candy bars. You need to take care of them. So just floss, people. Floss. Oh, we had a good show. We appreciate everybody coming to the chat room tonight. And the show will be up on YouTube, hopefully by sometime tomorrow, after I figure out how to get things working the way I want it to do and want it to look. So if you want to see it, you can probably see it you'll see that there. It'll be at youtube.com/PackardPokesat. If you like the show and you would like to make a donation, go to packardpokesat.wordpress.com, and there's a donation button there. Click the donation button, and then just click there, because my donation button icon here, it'll be here in a second if it doesn't freeze up my video. There it is. It's over here. There we go. I got it. If you want to donate, go over here. Just go and press the donation button on the site. It'll say donate, and has some cards on there or whatnot. And just put a dollar amount in there and donate something to the show. This way it keeps the internet on, and we keep the computer flowing, and the video flowing, and all this other good nice stuff. So if you would like the show, please donate. But in the meantime, if you want to reach us on Twitter, and if you're not on Twitter, why aren't you? I'm sure some of us there have Facebook accounts too, but we don't generally talk about Facebook all that much, because a lot of us don't like Facebook on the show here, and it's fine. But I am on Facebook too. A lot of my tweets go there, so if you like my tweets, you can find them there as well. But in the meantime, if you want to find Dan on Twitter, you can find him at
Rel Unrelated. That's RELUNRELATED.
Right, and you can find Joe on Twitter as
Joe Unseen, JOEUNSEEN.
Right. You can find me on Twitter as Packard_Sonic. That's PACK. I forgot my name. PACKARD_SONIC. You can find the show notes at PackardPokesat.wordpress.com. You can find the show on Twitter as PackardPokesat, all one word, no spaces on there. And you get general updates. You find out when the show comes out, when it gets posted out to the internet and to YouTube and all that other nice stuff. Well, this has been, thank you again for coming, and join us here in the chat room now that the chat room is mostly working. Hopefully by next week, the chat rooms will be back in full operation. We had some issues last week and some minor issues tonight, but they've actually been fairly good tonight so far. So we've actually had a few more people in the chat room tonight than we did last week. So if you would like to see us on live, as we actually record the show, you go to justin.tv/PackardPokesat, And you can find us and watch us live at Friday nights at 9 p.m. Central Daylight Time or Central Standard Time, whichever one we're in at the moment. So you can watch us mess up or or when we don't mess up, either way. So anyway, but this has been Packard Pokes At. We just poked at your news.
And that's a wrap.